Chris, congratulations on your election and becoming Gloucestershire Police and Crime Commissioner. For those who don't know about the responsibilities that it entails, could you please give us a brief description of the role?
Certainly, Dan. The Police and Crime Commissioner, first of all, must work out what the priorities that the public want to be dealt with in terms of crimes and give those priorities to the Chief Constable. You also hold the Chief to account on delivery of those priorities, and you run the budget and you basically try and resource things as much as is possible so that the chief has sufficient resources to deliver the priorities of the people. Those are the main sort of responsibilities.
Right. Okay. And speaking about those priorities, what are those priorities during your term of office? And do you feel like you had a pretty convincing electoral victory? Do you feel like you have a mandate? Does that give you a mandate from your election?
Well, the priorities are basically determined from my manifesto. The manifesto was determined by my conversations with people on the doors, going door to door, doing surveys, things like that, social media as well. So my main priorities are to recruit another 300 more bobbies on the beat, another 150 special constables, fix the 101 non-emergency contact system, address scams, internet scams, call scams, do more on rural crime and sort the budget out. So that's what I'm working hard on at the moment. I believe I've got a very good mandate. I had 91,000 votes, a majority of 31,000, which was quite a significant shift from my predecessor, who also had a 27,000 majority. And within each of the 6 districts, I had a majority as well. So I think it's a very clear statement by the people of Gloucestershire that they want me to deliver the priorities I've said I'm going to deliver. I think it's a very strong mandate. I don't, to be honest, I don't think any other police and crime commissioner around the country had such a significant shift and share of the vote as I had here in Gloucestershire. We had a really high turnout, 41%. Yeah. So I think it's a very, very clear statement that people want more police on the beat, and they want antisocial behaviour to be dealt with. And I'm not sure I mentioned it earlier, but that one is a major part of my priorities, having a zero tolerance approach to antisocial behaviour.
Right. Those are the top 2 or 3 priorities that you have. I mean, do you think you have, given those and others that you might have as well, do you think you have enough resources and budget to achieve those priorities over the course of the next 3 or 4 years?
Well, that's a big question. And the pledges that I've given, no other police and crime commissioner has done anything like that. And I understand that there are very demanding pledges. And that's why I'm spending a lot of my time going through the budget. I've stopped all discretionary spending at the moment until I'm convinced that we need to spend the money. We're reviewing last year's budget and this year's budget. And going through everything with a fine tooth comb. Basically, I'm trying to find what I call a pot of gold in order that I can then start the recruitment process. It's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult, but at the moment, no one's saying I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good to hear, isn't it? As one enters the job, isn't it? Or not to hear. It's if you got that blank sheet of paper that you can just go ahead with. But what challenges, as well as opportunities, given all that, do you see for policing as we emerge from the pandemic? Because it's been quite a strange time over the last year or two, obviously, to say the least. But what do you think of those challenges and opportunities might be coming out of the pandemic?
Well, obviously, crime levels dropped during the pandemic, apart from things like antisocial behaviour, whereas a lot of the breaking of the rules on the pandemic were itemised as antisocial behaviour. So our antisocial behaviour figures went right up. That's now dropping back to more normal levels. And I think looking forward, this force has a number of issues to pay attention to. It's crime data integrity, how crime is reported, how we deal with victims, how we deal with domestic abuse, violence against women and girls. These are all issues that I'm trying to find extra resources, as well as trying to find a pot of gold within my existing budget. I'm trying to access any government stream of new money that I can find from the Home Office, from the Ministry of Justice. I also want to work with local councils, other stakeholders, and business, because I think by working together, we can fight crime. I know retail crime is an issue that in the past hasn't really been fully reported. I think a lot of business owners feel that if they have a shoplifting problem or whatever, that it's not worth reporting it because the police don't do very much, or the evidence collection requirements for retail crime are too great. And we need to sort that out. And I need to work with business. I want to do a series of road shows in September where I talk to parish councils, town councils, and high street businesses, so that I can find recruits to step up to the plate as special constables, so that they can work within, say, in the business environment within a high street, and to protect their own businesses from crime.
Mm. And just a mention of, I didn't hear you talk about nighttime, the nighttime economy. I know we're in a pandemic, things were shut down for the last 12 or 18 months, but as we emerge from the pandemic, I know that was a concern before the pandemic, the nighttime economy and policing around that. Do you have any thoughts about the nighttime economy?
Yeah, I guess there's a groundswell of demand that's just waiting to get out and celebrate, go to nightclubs, and people to go out drinking and eating and celebrating. And that's a very strong desire. And people can't go on holiday abroad. So I think there'll be a lot of that activity going forward. And we'll have to spend a lot of time and attention making sure that our high streets are safe. As a police and crime commissioner, though, I don't have operational control over the force. I'm more interested in the resourcing side of things and setting the priorities, and it's the chief constable that controls things from an operational point of view. So really what I need to be doing is to make sure that a chief has enough resources so that his neighbourhood policing teams can police the high streets and protect us from the sort of problems that not only we will see going forward, but that we had during the lockdown of littering and things like that. You know, in Cheltenham, say, Montpellier Gardens, all the littering that was left the morning after the night before. We need to make sure that we have solutions in place so that that doesn't still be the problem that it is.
Mm-hmm. So finally, what's your message then to the business community regarding your efforts to fight crime in Gloucestershire? What do you want them to do, to know, and to do?
Well, I think I've got to reach out to the business community. I want them to turn up to my road shows in September. I've got 7 road shows that we're going to do, myself and the Chief Constable, that we will be doing, and we'll be talking to the community. So we'll be very much in a listening mode, but we'll be talking to them about how we can help on special constables, dealing with things like persistent speeding, building up neighbourhood watch and things like that. I'll be talking about my police and crime plan. I'd like the business community to be very active with the local police forces. If they've got some of their staff who would like to be a special constable, I think that would be brilliant. And I'll probably be doing some more surveys to find out about retail crime, because I know in the past the force has done a survey on retail crime, which I know is a real problem within the county, and they're underrepresented. Retail crimes are underrepresented in the official statistics. So I need to engage more with the business community, and hopefully with this change with me as a new police and crime commissioner, people will feel that they can engage with me. People can get in touch with me anytime. I'm not a 9 to 5 sort of person. They can talk to me, write to me, and I will listen and get back to you. So please be engaged.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you're trying to be more accessible, do more outreach. And I hear from your responses that you're more data driven as well, based on, trying to make decisions based on the data and the evidence.
Very much so. Yes, definitely.
Great. Well, Chris Nelson, Gloucestershire Police and Crime Commissioner, thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks very much, Dan.